You look around, it's overwhelming. Home after home has burned, flattened. You can see what happened, the destruction here when the fire just tore through the neighborhood. I just talked with a homeowner who tells me he tried to get here in the neighborhood quickly to try and see if his home is still standing. He was on his way to his home. He said a lot of neighbors were asking him to check on their homes as well, because a lot of people, when they rushed out of here and took whatever they could to get to safety, they didn't know if their home would still be here when they return. Unfortunately, he has a lot of bad news to deliver to those neighbors. And you guys talked about a count, right? There's so much to show, by the way. You guys talked about a count of how many homes have burned. When we first got here, a little bit closer to 3 o'clock in the morning at Sunset and Chautauqua, which has been a popular spot where a lot of firefighters have been because of so much destruction. I talked with a firefighter who was actually down here from NorCal, and he said that he counted with his own eyes dozens of homes burned. He said that it would be a safe bet to say that hundreds have burned. Of course, that's still information that we need to confirm, but he had been around the neighborhood with different crews, and he said there were dozens and dozens. He could bet hundreds. Of course, we're still waiting to find out more about that information. If you continue to walk with me down Iliff, you'll just see more and more homes burned. That one homeowner I talked with asked me, how much worse is it down the way? Well, we're still finding out as well, because there are just so many homes. And then there are homes like this one here that are still standing. And oftentimes we see this where there's no rhyme or reason behind why a home is still standing, but these homeowners, I mean, so lucky when they see this. And as we report, we can't help but think of the viewers, the homeowners who are watching, waiting to find out if their home is still standing. So we keep that top of mind as we deliver this kind of news. Look at this burned out car and the metal on the ground that melted. These flames just so intense and relentless. When I talked with firefighters, I asked, what has it been like on the fire lines? And they said, well, take a look around you, because the winds have just been unbearable. The winds have been so intense. Earlier in the evening, or earlier in the morning, I should say, overnight, we saw a lot of embers flying all over the place. And there are a lot of palm trees out here. We know how dangerous that can become. Those palm trees are like fireworks because they cast off even more embers. And we know these embers are flying not just a mile in regular fires like what we normally see. This isn't a regular fire. This is an intense wind-driven fire. And as we continue to walk down Iliff, it's just home after home, flames. It's just incredible to see. It's unbelievable to see. We've been out here for several hours now, and firefighters tell me resources are low. They're doing their best. We know that this is a big mutual aid operation. We know that there are fire crews from all over the state. We know that the governor actually deployed firefighters from NorCal to SoCal to help with the firefight. That was one of the firefighters I talked with. And right now, as we continue on, here's another example, another home, and a lot of homeowners are waking up today wondering if their home made it. That homeowner I talked with told me that a lot of his neighbors are staying at nearby hotels, a lot of them anxious to find out if they're going to be returning to their home. But you look at this street, you look at Iliff off Sunset, and this neighborhood is destroyed. Really tough images to take in right now. And of course, the firefight is absolutely not over. When I talked to that firefighter who was sharing a lot of information about the firefight, he said there is no containment in sight. And like our First Alert weather team has been warning as well, we know that conditions don't appear to be improving anytime soon either.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.